Hi, it's Claire here. So we're on the subject of mind mapping, which is a really important decision-making tool. And it's very, very simple, and I just want to teach it to you from the very beginning because I think it's that important. We already talked about the spiral notebook that you're going to have with you, and you're going to write all your questions down as they come up. And then you can look at these questions and actually prioritize them. So we talk about that. You have your questions here, all of your questions, and then on this side you're going to prioritize those questions. And then you just take the most important and you start doing your mind mapping with that. Now let me show you some that you have pictures of there on the portal, because they can be different. This is one based on pros and cons and just literally adding up. Here's the question, which has more pros, which has more cons. In this case, does Terry need a hearing aid? He had more cons than pros. So we deferred the decision to get the hearing aid at this time. Okay? This next one, it was a mind map that I did about whether doing my end-of-life services online or try to reach the most people doing one-on-one, which I really love. But as I did the mind map and I saw all the services that I could provide online, I realized I could reach so many people, so many more people, if I did the end-of-life services. And again, I had a visual representation that showed me the decision to make, and it became very clear. So let's do our own. Let's do one together. You have your paper. If you want to get art supplies, that's fine. I love these markers. You know, they're fun on the paper. So you have a lot of different questions. You've put them on your spiral notebook. One of the first questions, once you've gotten a terminal illness, might be, what do I do next? So start by putting that question, what do I do next, in the center of your paper, and then put a thought bubble around it, okay? And then everything that comes to your mind that has to do with what your next steps are, start writing it down. So one of the first things I would do is tell my daughters. Muy importante to tell my daughters. Another thing, I would want a second opinion. Okay? I'm worried about the financial cost. So I might check with my accountant or my bank account. Paperwork. I want to be sure all the paperwork is updated. I have some, but I don't have it all updated, and I know that's very important. Do I want to think about alternative treatments? I know palliative care includes a lot of that, but is there something that would really make a difference for my diagnosis? Reiki, cranial sacral therapy. Maybe I'm just so emotionally distraught. I need some psychological support. Maybe I need to see my counselor. Alternative treatments like that could really support you. I want to check with, I have girlfriends that have had the same diagnosis. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to check with them and see what they can share with me. So on all of these topics that come out of that one question, what do I do next? They are their own thought bubbles. And I just do a line to the central question. Okay? What do I do next? And here are all the things that come up in my head that I want to get out of my head that are around that one core question. Then take the most, you've prioritized these. Each one of these would turn into a question. And then you would prioritize each one of those on that side there, okay? And take the top one. So for me, out of that group, it would be to tell my daughters, okay? And that's tough. You know, it's going to bring up so much for me, so much for them, and I want to be sure that I do it in a way that works for both of us. So, I want to be aware of the emotional stuff that comes up. It will be a lot. I want them to know that I'm going to be okay. Whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. I want to listen to them because they may have some good wisdom to share with me, but I think I want to have a silver lining in all of this. And if we have better communication because of this, that would be a good thing. Yeah. There's research that needs to be done. I have one daughter that's really good at that. Well, they both are, but I could delegate some of this stuff to them if they want to. But mainly, as I'm doing this, I'm getting clearer about sharing this with them and what my intention will be when I do. So more than anything, I want to become closer and I want to have better communication. And if I hold that intention while I talk to them, I think it's more likely to go easier for them. And that means a lot to me. So anyway, that's a quick example of mind mapping, but it's easy. It's very low tech, and it really lets you visually see what's coming up for you, helps you to prioritize, really helps you get an intention if you're going to talk to a family member, you're going to talk to a doctor. You know what you want to talk to them about because you've done this mind mapping. And it'll really support you through the whole process. So I'm thinking of you. Lots of love. Bye.